In this lecture, we will discuss about the different phases of waterfall model. As shown in the diagram, the whole process of software development is divided into 5 separate phases. That's why this model is also called as 5-phase model. In this waterfall model, typically the outcome of one phase act as an input for the next phase sequentially. Let's see all the 5 phases in detail. First phase is communication phase. The software development process starts with communication phase. In this phase, the user and the developer sit together and discuss among to collect the user requirement so that the developer gets clear about idea about what to do. That is what customer is expecting from that software. And what type of specification he wants. Everything is discussed in this phase. All these requirements are generated in a specific document that are called as SRS. In SRS, all the user requirement that may be functional requirement or it may be non-functional requirement. All these things are written in the non-technical language. This SRS will help user as well as the developer to track and validate the progress of the software. Once all the requirements are collected and properly documented, developer can move to next phase. So the next phase is planning phase. In this phase, plan is made to develop the software whose requirements are collected in the previous phase. The software developer team sit together and decide how many people required to develop the software, as well as they also estimate the cost of the software using some techniques like LOC, and also how much time is required to develop that software is estimated. That is, overall software estimation as well as planning required to create a software is done in this phase. Next phase is modeling phase. This phase includes the detailed requirement analysis and the project design. This is done with the help of algorithm and the flowchart. Basically, this phase aims to transform the requirements which is gathered in the SRS into suitable form which permits further coding in a programming language. It defines the overall software architecture together with high level and detailed design. All this work is documented as a software design document, that is SDD. Next phase is construction phase. This is the fourth phase. During this phase, the design is implemented and tested. For implementation, the language is decided in the previous phase or it may be decided in this phase. If SDD is complete, then the implementation becomes very easy because all the information needed by the software developer is contained in the SDD. After coding, testing is done. Basically, testing is carried out to check whether flow of coding is correct or not and it satisfies all needs of customer or not. The small modules are tested in isolation initially. After that, these modules are tested by writing some overhead code to check the interaction between these modules and the flow of intermediate output. Once coding is done, your software is ready to deploy. So the last phase is deployment phase. In this phase, the complete software is deployed to the customer. After that, customer gives feedback and depending upon his feedback, support and maintenance to the software is given by the developer team. If customer suggests some correction or demands additional features, then the developer team must satisfy the customer. So this is all about the phases of waterfall model. In the next lecture, we will see the use of waterfall model. So see you in the next lecture.